Seppi and I started wondering, who's the best damage dealer in Summoner's War history? And then we realized that we're only 2 people. We're not really qualified to tell you that. So we decided to go for the stats and ask Twitch chat.
Wait, I actually think we are qualified to tell you that. That's why in this list you're gonna see what Twitch chat decided, but also some of our insights.
Welcome to the top 10 potential best damage dealers in Summoner's War history as decided by Twitch chat.
And with a take from Summoner's War historians.
Stop! Hold your Helenas. Don't be so hasty. We gotta talk about the parameters first. Here are those parameters. This is not a series of 1v1s. We're not talking about who could win in a fight.
This is about the impact of each monster and how important they are in the history of Summoner's War. How relevant they can be for our game.
So it doesn't matter who would win in a fight between Sigmaris and Belger. You could make an argument for either, because you could say Sigmaris might win because of how helpful she is in the climb in GB.
Or Belger because he's super important for BJ5. These are monsters that just do damage. They're typically more fragile and that carry high threat in competitive formats.
So you're more likely to see a Zeratul in here than a Rakan. And speaking of which, we're not going to be tackling bombers or bruisers today, so you're not going to see Ciara or Diana. If you guys like this sort of video, then we'll tackle them another day.
Number 10.
It's Leica, who beat Belger and PSAM to get here, and the Wind homie by proxy, because Belger beat the Wind homie to get here. This is a real underdog story.
We all know how hard Leica was nerfed in the past, and he made his way back with a few buffs, and now he's in a very sweet spot where he can be used in a safe GB12 team, or also as a great counter or last pick for RTA.
Number 9.
Crow. Out of the shadow of his big brother, he beat Sigmaris, Odin, and by proxy, Antares.
And let's be honest here, getting into the top 10 is amazing on its own, but even though he didn't breach further than 9, he already did what he came to do. He beat out his only competitor in Sigmaris. That was the only other competitor on the list that was vying for the same position on the same team that he was.
That's a real rivalry right there.
Now these two are very similar and they can both exist on the same team together. This is just significant because clearly Crow has taken over the people's vote. Because again, this is Twitch chat. So guys, we have a little bit of a confession to make. This is not exactly the top 10 best damage dealers. This is actually the top 8 best damage dealers with the addition of Miho and one other that's going to come after this because we didn't have assets for Miho.
So she was never in the tournament.
We've already said too much. Burn the tapes.
And number 8.
It's Miho, the Dark Martial Cat, specifically the 2A version. So you know you're gonna have to take her through a run of the Dimension Hole before we're talking about the same Miho. She's become a very famous counter in RTA lately, and she even 1v4'd somebody in SWC.
Not only that, she's one of the best monsters for Siege and Guild War defenses, becoming a real threat to everyone, and that's why a lot of monsters got buffed in the recent past to be able to counter her.
And she's now more popular than
Kind of sad.
Number 7, the other one that we didn't have assets for, it's
Savannah. She comes in representing both of her sisters. We all know that Savannah, Barbara, and Masha are all amazing, but Twitch chat selected Savannah as the best one of the 3, even surprisingly beating on Barbara. How cool is that?
Yeah, it's pretty significant.
She's taken RTA by storm with her AoE attack bar reduction and damage. Normally teams that worked with double strippers didn't have a lot of damage and just control, but she's the monster that bridged that gap.
Just ban the Leo.
Ban the Leo. Number 6.
Han, the Dark Ninja. He beat Lagmaron, the Water Demon, and by proxy Covenant, the Water Sniper. We joke that he's the better Diana. It's not really a joke. He has his own defense break, attack bar gain, speed lead. He really has everything.
He has a stun, for God's sake. This monster is amazing.
And it's frankly a little disturbing that he only got this far in the list.
Low cooldowns, amazing on bio.
I'm looking at you, Twitch chat. You know what you did. Number 5, which is also the number of these that Seppi owns.
It's actually 6. It's Brandia. She beat Bulldozer and Teshar, and by proxy, Julie, to come all the way to number 5 spot. And here she brings a lot of damage, even if your monster doesn't have a lot of debuffs on it, because she can hit very hard with immunity or without it.
Really good in the Rift Beasts.
And number 4.
It's Garo, the Fire Ninja, who beat Alicia, Rocky, and by proxy Copper to get here. He is a stand-in vote for Miho. A vote for Garo is a vote for Miho. But That's not to discount him on his own. I mean, he's the solo king for that one floor in TOA with Acroma, and he was everybody's favorite last pick in 2019 RTA.
He's the Garosaki Ninja.
Your motorcycle.
The Garosaki Ninja.
He's still a very strong component in RTA for cleave teams with Bastet, Draco, and Shimitai Lucian, the famous Japanese cleave.
Number 3.
It's someone that beat Leica Oberon Zeratu and Talia.
It's Raok.
The better Sylvia.
To me, he should be number 2 on this list at least, and we don't really need to tell you why. You probably have at least 2 of him.
And you use them in the Punisher script,
DB12,
Dragons,
yeah.
and speedruns for TOA.
You probably tried him in GB12, and you were like, this hits a little hard. Maybe I won't use him in GB12.
In RTA with Verd, Lauren, Ciara, El Sharion, and Bastet. Delicious comp.
Group Attack Gang!
And number 2.
It's Perna, who beat Han, Shimite, Hurtit, and Tayor. Well, that last one wasn't much of a surprise, but Han? Twitch, do you guys know what Han does? Do you know what Perna does, says Mark. How dare you,
What's up,
Mark?
Surin? What's up, Surin?
We need to ban Mark Lee 82.
Hey.
He defense breaks. I'm super
He gets an extra turn.
Like, I'm really surprised that Perna made it.
Are you guys in 2018? What's going on?
But you know what? I will give them this.
In their defense, it is in the
It's
history
impact. We
all
talked about
time.
this. And-
So actually, you guys might be right. Caw-caw.
Wow. That wasn't in the script. That was just something that we just decided right now. Han has only been incredible for a very little amount of time, whereas Perna's impact is years coming, right?
It was number 1 damage dealer in RTA for the longest time. Incredible still for Guild Wars defenses, Siege, and even the Lumel farming team.
You can use Perna as a leader there, or in Wind Rift Beast as well. And let's not forget that just straight up Perna has been part of Summoners War culture for so long. She's been the basis for a meme on the Summoners War subreddit for ages. She's part of that meme with Theomars. And so...
And number 1.
Obviously.
Duh.
Did we even need to say it?